Yo, it's your boy Logos, and today we're going to continue our series talking about double standards and male to female privilege. And today we're going to focus on courtship and dating. And I really want to start off with making the first move as a guy compared to a woman. I believe that guys are fully expected to make the first move a lot more compared to women. I've heard from women in my personal life, through online, through reading through social media over the years. Many will say they will not approach a man, and the number of women that will say they would are very, very few compared to the ones that say they wouldn't. For them, some even admitted it was like a pride thing or an ego thing, and I appreciate them being honest because them being honest allows us to have this conversation. Some said their ego was too big for them to do that. They felt that it was a man's role to do that, and they're not going to put themselves in that situation of possibly being rejected in the case that man isn't attracted to them as they are. And I feel that it is like a double standard because men are expected to approach women all the time. Since we are young, we are told, you walk up to a woman, introduce yourself, this, that, and the other, then you try to get a number. And like the more social media age, you could say get a Snapchat, Instagram, all that shit. And it's really on the guy to make that first move. It doesn't matter if that woman is staring at him much longer than he noticed her. He could be in the bar and his buddy like knocks him on the shoulder and say like, "Damn, that girl been looking at you for a while. I think she's interested in you. She been looking at you for the past 5 minutes," and she will not get up from that seat from the moment of time that he's in that bar, or she's in that bar, to go and talk up and walk up to him. It's expected to the man to get up and do that after she sent that signal. And I'm not saying that's like a bad thing or a horrible thing. I'm just saying that's a double standard that women allow and men will allow it too because we do it and we don't necessarily see it's a problem. We just wish women would step up to us more because men, we have to deal with rejection. We really don't have a choice. Like if you're doing it electronically or going in person, there's a chance that the woman won't like you and she will pass on you if it's on Tinder or if it's in person. And that's something you have to suck up and deal with. Unless you're a freaking psychopath, you gotta move on with your life and try on with the next. And that's something that guys just have to move on and don't take it too personally. Just go about your day and try with the next. I feel like women don't really have to do that because they're expected to be approached. They're expected to be courted. Chivalry is about men treating women a type of way, not women treating men a type of way. That's just something we have worked out in our society. And not all double standards are against women, and not all double standards are against men. In that same, dating scenario, the man has a choice of whether or not he wants to be with that woman or not. He could just simply be leaving it at sex after he finds out that she's into him. They go on a date and they have sex within the first date or first couple weeks or so. He could say it's because I just wanted you for sex, or it could really be there's something in their personality that they know won't mesh together. They could clash on religion, they could clash on money, they could clash on philosophy, they could clash on a number of different things. But regardless of how it happens, 9 times out of 10, whoever initiates that whole scenario is going to be the guy. But just because it's us that always have to do that doesn't mean we're always out of control. Everybody in that scenario has a choice. The man has a choice to go up to the woman or not. The woman has a choice to actually go out with him after he goes up to her and she hears him speak. She has a choice of going back home with him after the date. She has a choice of even going on the date or not because they could talk on the phone a couple times beforehand and she feels like this is a little shady or this guy's a little strange or he isn't who I thought he was. Like the whole scenario has people making choices, and to just focus on a double standard is minimizing the situation. But there are double standards. Another double standard is paying for dates as a guy. The same way when it comes to approaching a woman and courting a woman, it's on the guy too to pay for the dates once he does get a number and she accepts going out on a date. And I do agree and understand the fact that if you go out to somebody first and offer a date, you are expected to pay for it. But I do think it is kind of weird how we say women are equal to us in every way, but when it comes to dating, they're not equal. We are the more dominant person in the scenario. They're more there's somebody more to be taken care of. You get what I mean? It's us and our finances that has to go out there and really not there as much at all. Someone would even get an attitude in a similar way of being asked about approaching the man first. They'll get an attitude about paying for the first date or any date. They'll say like, "Nah, why are you like you're the man? You want to go out? You pay for me." Even if it's reverse, I heard some women say they do approach a man, they still expect him to pay for the first date because he's the guy. And I just find that odd because we're living in the 21st century. I would say most women work, most people have jobs. Shoot, some women love to brag about it on social media and act like it's a special thing. But some of those same women don't want to pay for dates. I don't get how you can be a bad boss bitch, but then you have an issue with paying for a date from time to time. It's not about like you the man, you should do this. It's about we're equally attracted, we're equally want to spend time together. Why not we equally invest in doing it? If we can both invest in doing dates, we could do more extravagant, more fun dates. It's a double standard, but like it's one that us guys has accepted because we really want to, get with the woman, and we'll do a lot of things to make sure that happens. Especially if we're not used to being around women, if we're young, if we buy into the whole, Prince Charming thing like I did before when I was younger. There's a lot of different things that can influence the guy to accept things he would normally wouldn't do, or that is an obvious double standard, or is obviously hypocritical compared to some of the stuff that some women be spouting out loud when they talk. But when they actually in front of you and it's like a money scenario, they're ready to fall back and be secondary, if you get what I mean. It just, it's a double standard, but it is the way it is. It's important to call it out because whenever one side talks about double standards, don't act like it's just one side benefited from it. Women and men benefit from double standards all the freaking time, and it's just a part of society. And if the only way you can really change is if one side decides to give up a benefit or a double standard, and then the other side decides to do the same. We keep doing that back and forth thing. But I don't foresee that happening because in all the years since the feminist movement, I haven't seen women say we need to pay for dates and stuff like that. We need to stop letting the men approach us. We need to go and decide who we want. Like, I really don't hear that. They still want the men to approach them, which is fine. They still want the men to do the dates, which is fine. I just want the whole honesty all around about what you want. Like, you can't be equal one time and then not equal the other. That's hypocritical. And I'm not finna let that slide.